slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that.
Morning folks, this is Dave from Avernus Biker Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. Man, it's hot today. This is a day you definitely want to be out on your bike rather than stuck in a tin can. Just about to head into the unit now to pick the orders from the weekend. Bit of a quieter weekend this weekend. I think we're up to about a dozen orders. Last couple of weekends have been really good, but obviously the diminishing amount of stock that I've got in a minute is meaning that the orders aren't filtering through as much. Hopefully we're back to normal as soon as possible. I hope all of you are keeping well and healthy and all your families are healthy. What I wanted to do today is give you guys some top tips of how to trade on eBay, whether you're a private seller or whether you want to take it to the next level and open a business account on eBay. These are the things that I've found great success with. So here we go. Number one tip is be honest. Above all things, you need to be honest in your listings and with the way you deal with people. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, but if you're not honest in your listings and how you deal with people, then that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. There's no two ways about it. There's always going to be a tendency to elaborate on the truth, maybe exaggerate a listing, or look at things through rose-tinted spectacles. Really, you want to make the sale and you're concentrating so heavily on doing a good job of presenting your item in the best light possible. There is a tendency to get carried away. Now, although it's very important to present your item in a positive light and make it look good, if you over exaggerate, then you're going to get yourself in trouble. If you've overpromised on a sale or exaggerated too much, all that's going to happen is people are going to receive your item, realize that it's not exactly what they were expecting, and you're going to get negative feedback on your account. If there's one thing that adversely affects eBay accounts, is negative feedback. That's the last thing in the world you want to happen. Which brings me nicely onto my second top tip. Don't take things personally. Sometimes, I've had it quite a number of times over the years, where things happen that are outside of your control. There may be a delay in postage, the items may have been mistreated by a courier, so on and so forth, and because it's your item, you're the person who's going to get the blame for it by the customer. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. What I mean by don't take it personally is if somebody gets in contact with you and they're a lot less than happy with the way that their item has been treated by whoever, then they're going to get onto you about it. If your response is to be a dick, then it's going to go south. It's going to go south. The way I try to deal with it is by remaining calm and remaining polite and remaining professional. Remain professional above all things. This will diffuse the situation very quickly. Sometimes there is no solution to a problem, so you've got to take it on the chin. I mean, I've had instances again where I've just written off the sale altogether. I've refunded the customer in full and told them to keep the item for the sake of my seller standing on eBay. An example of that would be if I've missed something when I've been testing, I've missed a bit of damage or a defect on the item and sent it out completely innocently. I've just not realized it. I'm human at the end of the day, and the customer's picked up on that and obviously reported that. Then my number one aim has got to be customer service. The customer service translate into positive feedback. Positive feedback, it translates into good standing on eBay. The reason that's so important is because if you've got a good standing on eBay, then your listings get more publicity. That's the long and short of it. And if your listings get more publicity, that converts into more sales. So customer satisfaction is absolutely key, even if it means swallowing your pride at times and taking it on the chin. It's better to make a £5 loss on one item than it is to make a £500 loss over a year because it's affected you standing on eBay. Another reason account health is so important is that there are seller protections available from eBay. So if you've got somebody who is clearly taking the piss, then eBay will stand by a top rated seller. It does take a while to get to that level of sales, but if you're providing consistently good customer service, your posted times are always on time, you're always dispatching on time, you're dealing with people in a professional and respectful way, then you'll achieve the top rated seller rating. And in those instances, eBay will stand by you and be more inclined to listen to what you have to say if they have to make a judgment on an issue that you could have with a customer. You do get customers that are just out to take the piss. It's unavoidable. There are some loopholes on eBay whereby if you're in the know, then you can rip business customers off especially, but private customers as well. It's unavoidable and just part of trading online. You're going to get people that are that way inclined. There is another line of a defense on that. Sometimes, like I said before, you have to take it on the chin if things go wrong and it's your fault. But if in the extremely rare event where it's a case of you're out of pocket because somebody's been taking advantage of the system and has essentially ripped you off, then you can block them. There is an eBay block list, so they can't buy anything off from your account again. But I can definitely reassure you, instances like that are extremely few and far between. In the thousands of items I've sold on eBay over the last couple of years, I've probably had one person that's definitely without question been taking advantage of the system and taking the piss, and two that I thought probably are, but I couldn't actually prove it. So all of those three people have been blocked. They can't deal with me again, which I'm not going to lose any sleep over, because I'd say probably north of 60% of my items are under £50. It's a bit of a kick in the pants, but it's not the end of the world if I have to write those sales off altogether and be out of pocket slightly. Tip number 3 is take good pictures. The initial impression of your item is your picture, and if you have got a really crappy picture on a dirty bed sheet or something like that, then it's going to put people off instantly. People buy with their eyes initially. So make sure you've got a clean picture, ideally on a white background. eBay loves white backgrounds, in fact so much so that your item will get picked up on Google search results because it's got a nice clean white background. Search engines love that as well, so make it as clear as possible. If there are any defects, take close-up pictures of the defects of the item. It goes back to what I was saying about being honest, but if you have got a clean presentable picture of your item combined with a list of anything that is of note, then it's definitely worth mentioning this to the customer, because people appreciate that honesty. There's nothing worse than somebody receiving, it's nothing worse for a customer than somebody receiving something and it not being exactly as they were expecting. Top tip number 4, keywords in your title. You've got 80 characters to use in your title. Use all of them. Make your words count. Not only do you need obviously the brand, model, a short description of what the item is, if there are any relevant part numbers or anything that would specifically identify the item, put them in and make the most of those 80 characters. Use all of them, even if there are related keywords. For example, if you're selling blue coat, for example, mention the fact that it's warm, mention the fact that it's a summer jacket. If you've got the space at the end of what you want to say and you're titling exactly what it is, use those extra words, because they are what people will be searching. They won't just be searching for a blue coat, they'll be searching for a blue coat size whatever, they'll be searching for a blue winter coat, a blue summer coat, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So the more descriptive you can be in the title, the better, but use as much of those 80 characters as you possibly can. Tip number 5, thank you cards. Really important. It's a matter of taste, but I think the results I'm getting on these are worthwhile spending the money. They're a nice quality card. I got these done for a Vistaprint. It cost me £40 for 1,000, so I'm going to be going through these for a while. And all it is it's essentially that. It's thanks very much indeed for being our customer. If you read that, a bit of blurb about us, trying to make them feel good about themselves for buying from my shop. The idea with that is you're not specifically asking for feedback, you're trying to portray the fact that you appreciate the custom, and if they could leave you positive feedback, that'd be fantastic. Leave them ways to get in contact. Mention the fact that if they do have any issues at all, no matter what it is, that they can get in contact with you. Leave your email address. Don't leave your phone numbers. Leave your eBay store name so they remember. It's just a nice added touch that will increase your chance of getting positive feedback, and also that in turn is going to translate into your account health being greater. Better account health means more sales. Top tip number 6: over deliver if possible. What I mean by that is when I first started out, obviously I was aware of the fact that I needed some positive feedback to gain trust in my store and me as a seller. So what I did, when as well as sending out a thank you card, I also included something daft. It was a small packet of Haribo, a couple of curly whirlies in a couple of instances. You get the idea. Something that, a key ring, for example, a pen, something that's going to cost you next to nothing or pennies, that you can include it with your item when you send it out. It's going to make people remember you, almost obligate people to leave you good feedback because you're over delivering, you're surprising them with a nice treat. It sounds like a very silly thing to say, but it does actually work. So that's top tip number 6. Top tip number 7: always assume that the courier or postal service you're using is going to treat your item badly. So if you're sending out a camera, always make it look as though you've gone overboard with the packaging. When it gets to the customer, obviously it won't be damaged, but secondly, it will be obvious to the customer that you've taken great care and you actually care about what you're selling and you care about them as a customer. That will increase confidence, not so much increase repeat sales, although that does happen, but it increases your chances of positive feedback and it helps your account health. So I'm going to take a camera, for example. This one's going out today, just an old digital Casio digital camera. Plenty of bubble wrap, extra layer of cardboard, just an extra level of protection, and so quite comfortably drop that on the floor like a courier may well do, and it's not going to be any damage. It's going to arrive to the customer in the condition that you sent it out in, which is what they're expecting. Top tip number 8: tell people what you do. Talk to people. There's quite a few instances over the last couple of years where it's just come up in conversation, what I do with friends and family. And as a result of that, you're the first person that they go to if they ever want anything selling, if they're ever getting rid of anything themselves that may be of value. They don't necessarily know how eBay works, or they just can't be bothered, which is more than often the case. They'll ask you to sell it on for them and either split the profits between them or stick the money in your own pocket, which or whatever the arrangement is. But let people know. Also, just as an extension to that, you'll find that if people know what you do, there will be recommendations. A lot of people are on Facebook and they see the likes of Facebook Marketplace. If somebody knows that you sell a particular item, whether it be Lego, toys, games, any kind of collectibles, and they notice it, it's an extra pair of eyes looking out for deals like that, stuff that they might just come across while they're surfing online and let you know, and you wouldn't necessarily have found out about that. So it's important that you talk to people about what you do. Work on your discipline and motivation. There's been quite a few times again where over the last few years where come 5:30 on a Sunday morning when I'm looking out the window and it's absolutely chucking it down. There are still some car boot sales that are open. They're indoor ones particularly. You just have to get the motivation and the discipline to get your ass out of bed and get out on the road. Car boots are the single greatest source for sourcing things to sell on eBay, so it's worthwhile doing every time without fail. But you've got to have the motivation to get your ass out of bed. Equally during the week, if you can't get out on the weekend, if you can only get out during the week, make sure that you do. Even if it's nipping to a supermarket on your lunch break from work, the more you can do, the more time you spend looking, the more time you'll spend finding. Just as an extension to that point, keep going. You're going to get weeks where you have problems that you need to address, that you make minimal sales, so it doesn't seem like it's worthwhile doing, but keep going. It'd be surprising that even making a few sales, a couple of sales a week, when it comes to the end of the month, that's money in your bank. That's effort that you've put in that you're reaping the rewards from. So don't let your heads drop, even when it seems like it's a waste of time. Sometimes it does. Just keep going. It will come good. Top tip number 10. It's a bit of a two-part one, this actually. Step outside your comfort zone is the first part. If you're finding success selling one particular item, whether it be bike related, whether it be toys, books, don't be afraid to test different things. The reason I say it's a two-part point, you're stepping outside your comfort zone and trying new items to sell, has got to be backed up by research. On a previous video we've covered how to find out on eBay through the sold completed listings whether there is profit in particular items and whether they're selling and how regularly they're selling, but it's very important, and that's covered. That backs up you stepping outside your comfort zone. So for example, over the last year I have come across items that I've just randomly thought I'll see if they're worth anything and if there's worth any money to be made from them. So for example, over the last couple of years I've been out and about car boot sales, charity shops and so on and so forth, and I've looked at items to think that would I buy, would I think it's a cool thing to have, would I think it is collectible, have I had any experience in my life where I've been aware of people that have collected particular items, and do my eBay research on those, check the eBay sold completed listings. I've come across stamp collections that have been worth absolutely nothing, and some that have been worth a fortune that people are just clearing out. Another good example is from a local car boot sale, some resin blocks with bugs in, scorpions and things like that. An 8-year-old Dave would have thought these were the coolest thing in the world. So I checked the completed. This lady had, I think it was something like 6 trays of 20, and each one of those blocks, not trays, but each one of those blocks went for £15 each, and I paid £5 for all 5 trays. So step outside to your comfort zone, just think outside the box, think on your feet, think as you go in, and make informed decisions because you're researching it on eBay. But sometimes as well, if you have that strong feeling about it that you think this could be something big, even if there's no precedent, if it's not going to cost you a lot of money, throw the money at it and test the water. It may just be something that you found that nobody else has. So there we have it, your 10 top tips for successful selling on eBay. Hopefully you found these tips useful. If you have, please leave a comment below this video. It'd be good to get some feedback from you guys if I'm hitting the mark with these videos in the first instance, but also if you find this information useful and it's helping you look for an income stream that you wouldn't necessarily have had. If you've already subscribed to this video, thank you very much indeed. It helps promote this channel to a wider audience, so I really appreciate that. If you aren't already subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and the notification bell, and you'll get a notification next time I post a video. If I can ask a big favor once again, guys, give this video a big thumbs up. Just down below this video you see the thumb icon. Again, that helps the channel out and it's very much appreciated. And on that note, I'll wrap this video up here and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.